So the job today is to get some of the sub base down onto this soil. We've managed to get this soil fairly level. Pretty happy with that. The sub base is going to do the job of making the rest of it level. And then we need to clean up the paving slabs, which Joe started doing already. And then we can break them up into nice shapes and start filling the area up. So we're going to have a big mixture of slabs mixed with some smaller bits. We don't really have an exact plan. We're just going to see how the slabs break. So yeah, a lot should change today, and it should really start making this area feel like it's coming together. But yeah, let's get cracking before the sun gets any hotter than it is now. Let's go.
This is more than just a renovation to us. It's a chance to give new life to materials that already have such a rich history. After learning about the incredible story of this home from the very family who built it, restoration naturally becomes a part of our design philosophy. Not only is it cost-effective and environmentally conscious, but it also aligns with the Greek tradition of repurposing what we already have. Reusing the original paving slabs felt like a natural progression of that mindset. These stones have served Villa Sweet William faithfully for decades, and we hope they'll continue to do so for many more years to come.
Alright, so I've got my old piece of timber, and we're just going to hack back and forward in a sawing motion. And that's going to expose these low points here. And when we see them exposed, we're just going to grab a shovel full of sand and start trying to get the base nice and even. Right, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of water on top of the sand now. I've got Bill and Dora's anvil, and I've got a plank of wood. Let's see how compact we can make this with these basic, definitely not landscaping tools. Let's go. I'll tell you what, this anvil, it's getting a new lease of life here. If you're wondering who Bill and Dora are, I'll put a link to the series of videos we made where we did an interview with the family who bought the land over here and built this villa. They found us on YouTube, which was a pretty incredible story in itself. So go back and check that out if you want to. But yeah, by all accounts, Bill was a bit of a shoemaker. He fixed shoes for the people, local people, and this was one of his tools. And it's nice to be able to repurpose it, to be honest. They were such a lovely family, and Bill and Dora sounded like absolutely lovely people. Yeah, so it's really nice to be able to repurpose this and know that it's still getting put to good use in this villa. All right, let's crack on. I'm pretty happy with how that's compacting down now. Look, if I put a foot down, I'm not leaving any prints. And it feels pretty even. So, long way to go, but Rome wasn't built in a day, right? show you where we are so far. So this is compacting down really nicely. I'm glad he recommended using this sand, because I did go in originally asking for a much thicker sub base like an MOT, and obviously great people know what they're doing with this kind of stuff, so followed his advice, and I'm glad we did, because it's coming up nicely. So let's get a bit more done before the sun gets even hotter. So the water also helps you identify the low points, because you get these little pools of water where it's obviously a bit lower. So it's easy to figure out where that is, fill them in, then whack them down again.
Our local sand and cement supplier advised us to use landscape fabric directly over the sand layer, under the stone, and here's why. First, this wasn't a full ground up install. We reused an existing compacted base and added fresh sand to level the new stones. The fabric helps keep that sand from shifting, especially during heavy rain. It also acts as a weed barrier, stopping growth through the wide mortar joints. And lastly, it supports the mortar as it cures, preventing it from sinking into the sand below. For dry climates and mortared crazy paving like this, it should work perfectly.
And we're ready to start breaking the paving slabs into some kind of shape. So the plan is to break up the big slabs into slightly smaller versions of what they are now, and then lay out the big slabs first, then move on to some medium ones to fill in some of the gaps, leaving the smaller ones to fill in whatever's left after that. We've never done this before, we don't have a real plan, and we're just going to see how it goes, to be honest. Right, we've got 2 slabs here that Joe's washed. We were trying to decide whether to wash them all or whether to leave them. I think the verdict is we're going to leave them.
Too many to do.
There's a lot to do. So what I'm thinking is, all right, yeah, it does look nice and white. It's obviously square at the moment, so we're thinking crack a corner off of each corner, yeah, and then hopefully it goes into some kind of unsquare shape, right, and place it down over there to see what it looks like. I don't know, we just go for it.
Let's try.
We've got no other choice, have we?
No.
Let's just go for it. Do you want to whack it?
Yeah.
Bang it around there, maybe. And then that.
Oh, it's quite tall.
Hang on, no, I was going to say.
I think I was meant to do that.
Chip the corner. Alright, now let's start making this look less square, coming back towards. Right, look, that's kind of round.
That's good, yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Can you guys see what that looks like? That's like a kidney shape. But what we're trying to do is get away from having completely straight edges too much, and there's not a single straight edge on that. So why don't we take that over there, place it somewhere, and then see how the other ones go. But that's good. That's good. That is number 1. Right in the middle.
Right.
That may not be its final resting place, but for now, all we're going to do is get some more stones this kind of size, this kind of shape, and then just start placing them in random positions. End up with pretty big gaps though. We want to see lots of nice bright white mortar in between these slabs. That's the whole point of doing this. We want the brightness to come through. So we're just going to keep whacking away and see what we end up with. That's right, get out of the way. Beginning to take shape quite nicely now. We're going to bring the last of the big blocks over, and then it's just going to be a case of infilling, and we can start the grouting, which is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go and grab those big ones.
So what do you think of the crazy paving arrangement so far? Do you think it looks better than the grid pattern? We'd love to know your thoughts. Next week, we race against the sun to get the mortar joints filled. We're using a material we've never worked with before, powdered marble, which should give us those lovely bright white Greek mortar joints. If you want to know how that works out, we'd love to see you back here next week. But for now, thank you so much for watching.